There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you, coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, December 26th. It's a federal holiday here in the United States. Federal workers getting the day off today. Compliments of the President of the United States. Did you know that the day before and the day after Christmas this year were named federal just for this year? Probably next year. You'll probably do it again next year and the next year and the next year, but it's official. It isn't passed by Congress or anything, so it needs a presidential declaration that it's a federal holiday. But hey, hopefully you're joining me here on the Morning Steam as we get ready for the action here on Friday. Should be a great sports betting day with our 9 NBA games, and we'll start it off with 3 college football games with the bowl season. You think about it, where we stand right now coming into these last couple of weeks of the NFL season, and with our bowls, man, we're probably down to what? I don't know, 60 or so football games left to bet on this year. They're going away. So let's make sure we have a great sports betting day with our college football games, 3 of them today, and a great weekend too. It's going to be an awesome day Saturday with a bunch of bowl games as well. We'll get right into the holidays with the college football action, of course. New Year's Eve, we got the one of the college football playoff games, and then the 3 big games on New Year's Day as well. So should be a good show today. Hopefully you're having a great one, and hopefully you're enjoying your hopefully an extended weekend. And what a day yesterday, huh? In the National Football League and the NBA. What was better? What was better? The NBA games maybe over the NFL? Yeah, maybe it was. After all, we knew that the games weren't that meaningful in the NFL, although there were some things decided yesterday with the NFL games. And we did have here on the Morning Steam Show at least one winner yesterday with the over in the Cowboys and the Washington Commanders game, with the Cowboys winning it 30-23. Yeah, and maybe we needed that backdoor cover there to get it home for the over as well. But did have a winner with, I started my package with the props and came in here and said how great it was going to be, and then we laid an egg, pretty much got a reverse sweep, but we're not going to stop firing anyway. Dallas with the win. They led 21-3 with 7 minutes left in the first half after basically scoring 24 points in their first 4 drives of the game. Cowboys rushed for 200 yards and went over their team total once again. They've gone over their team total in 8 of their last 11 games, but Washington kicked that 51-yarder with 2:09 left to get the backdoor cover, push the game over. Commanders have lost 10 of their last 11. They're 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games, and it's been just a disaster with Jaden Daniels injured most of the year. Mikey likes to point out the sophomore slump. It's fair for sure, getting hurt and everything. he did have a pretty good quarterback rating and an 8-3 touchdown to interception ratio. The numbers would point out that when he was in there, he actually was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But he was hurt too much of the season, and it was my man Josh Johnson in there yesterday. He did go 15 of 23 for 200 yards in his first start since 2021. The 39-year-old from the University of San Diego got in there with another one of his teams and did look okay in there, but Dallas had 87 plays in the game for 480 yards. Washington ran only 41 plays for 328 yards. Still only lost the game by 7 points there as the Cowboys got it done there yesterday. Also, Vikings eliminated the Lions from playoff contention. The Lions looked like pussycats after the Vikings scolded their way to a 23-10 victory. The Vikings defense could make the playoffs for sure. Their offense couldn't, but the Lions were eliminated by turning the ball over just 6 times. That's not championship ball, so they're done. They're out. Goodbye, Lions. They rushed for just 68 yards with their awesome combo. How does that happen? You did have the play call, Coach Campbell taking over the play calling there. And a lot of people point out that since Campbell started the play calling, when they go 2-6, but the stats were actually improved from before he took over as the play caller, but didn't just work out for the Lions this season. Had some injuries, of course, this year, and just not the same Lions team from what we've seen. So Minnesota won despite just having 3 net yards passing. Didn't they get some at the end of the game? That's what the graphics said. I thought they had a big play there, at least at the end, but Vikings did run the ball 28 times for 158 yards in the game. In the last 4 games, the Vikings offense did perk up a little bit, and Brosbury wasn't very good, but they still scored enough points, 23, to win this game. The Vikings defense is where it was at. They held 5 of the last 6 opponents to under 300 yards. So the defense was good for the Vikings this year. They just need to they have the talent, it feels like, on offense, but they'll have to get their quarterback, make him stay healthy and improve him a little bit. Feels like the Vikings are deserving of a little more after seeing how good that defense was. Clearly one of the better defenses in the league this season. Speaking of defenses, the number 1 defense, the Denver Broncos, won 20-13, but took them to late in the game when the Broncos drove 65 yards and scored the game-winning touchdown with 1:45 left for their 12th win in 13 games, with Nix doing a real nice job there. Denver 13-3 straight up now. They are 0-5 against the spread as a road favorite. They weren't going to cover 2 touchdowns there. Thought they might blow these guys out, but it was Chris Oladokun, who I mentioned, had that experience in his championship run. I say championship run. They went into the semifinals in the FCS playoffs in his lone season. They're on a title run. They think they lost to Montana eventually in that year. I just remember Oladokun in that playoff run. Kansas City lost 5 in a row, 7 of 8. Give the fans a lot of credit, though. They could have easily turned on this team. They could have booed them out of there, given the fact that they're leaving that stadium in, granted, 6 years. They're still going to be around Arrowhead, so they can still work the magic. Like I said, with Mahomes, and we'll see what happens with Kelsey. After that interview with Tony Gonzalez, I got the feeling he was more likely to stay another year or 2. We'll see, right? It's a matter of the Chiefs. I think it left a bad taste in their mouth to not go to the playoffs. Whether or not that can get someone who's got everything going for him off the field, the motivation to go back and come back. He certainly looked like an all-world tight end out there on that last series, right, when they were targeting him. You wonder why we don't target him more. There, Oladokin was getting the ball to him anyway. Broncos outgained the Chiefs 300-140 in the game, and Oladokin finished with just 66 yards passing in his first NFL start. So it was the Broncos getting the win there yesterday with the win over Kansas City. Let me say hello to the folks in the chat. Thank you for joining me here. We've got 3 bowl games today, getting ready here in about 3.5 hours. Play one after the other, and then there's an NBA card, and that's it. We'll be here maybe an hour plus today. And let me say hello to the folks in the chat, including Robert McCormick is here today. Thank you, Bobby, for starting us off. And Twisted said Goff and the Lions did not look good. Jake Parma in the chat here. Twisted as well. AJ LALV is here. Spurs, Moneyline, Nuggets. He's talking a little bit of that NBA card last night. And oh man, where did my notes go on that? I've lost my NBA notes here from last night. How are we going to cover it here? I'll get it. I'll cover it. I'll recap it here. There's Nuke in the chat, NYC Bar. AOD is here today. And Nuke said he went into 2-1. I guess he went with the Lions there. And good morning to Cash Kane in the chat. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year as well. It's a great holiday season this week. Bar says Spurs, right? We did have them a little bit. Hey, everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. And let's see who else is joining us in the chat. I think that we got a few others here ready to go today. AOD says OKC found their kryptonite. Hey, yeah, we did have the winner yesterday here on the show with a couple winners here on the show yesterday. I had the under in that one actually with the Spurs and the Thunder yesterday, but we were talking about it, right? I said the Spurs kind of like look, the Thunder, they just needed to win for revenge. They couldn't even do that. The Thunder have a Spurs problem. They're 26-2 against everybody else, 0-3 against the Spurs. That's a matchup. That's called a matchup problem. It sounds like there for the Thunder, and good, right? We don't need them to go wagging off there. Can I say that? Justin's here. Good morning. Sports Money is money, and there's Terrell, James Brown. Oh, maybe James Brown, like James Brown from CBS. Okay, I thought Terrell was calling me the godfather of soul. He might be actually calling me the kind of similar to the great CBS sports anchor. Either way, I'm good with it, Terrell. Good morning there too, James Parm. And let's see. Oh, maybe, okay, he was the hardest working man in show business. James Brown, the great singer. Yeah. And also, I'm thinking of James Brown, and James Brown, the sportscaster, and James Brown, the sportscaster. He was on one of I'm a spiritual person. I'm not deeply religious. There's really only one. I love Shadow Mountain Community Church out in San Diego, and the great pastor there is a famous televangelist by the name of Dr. Jeremiah. You might know him as the father of Daniel Jeremiah, the analyst from the NFL Network and other places. But James Brown interviewed Dr. Jeremiah, and I'm a big fan of Dr. Jeremiah, the famous televangelist. Of course, he kind of pastors over one of my high schools, the private Christian high school. So I actually know a super popular televangelist by first name. He's just such a great guy, too, Dr. David Jeremiah. Let's see here. Who else? Kelsey Sucks is twisted. He was looking great though at the end of the game. But yeah, this year, right? Just old, right? Too many drops, too many distractions, maybe off the field. We did see there, uh, you know, I want to say because of the fact that Tay ended up there getting to the game late, right? Maybe it was by design, right? You don't come there, but she missed Travis Kelsey's first catch. What if he only caught one pass and she missed it? Then he would have had to come back. All right. And Nuke says Campbell, right? They really have taken it to a new extreme. They were like, how can we top ourselves into doing something crazy, right? Jim Deweiger, hello, and Mike Humphrey as well. Uh, there's the groove. Is that the groovy alien right there? Nice to have the groovy alien in here. And Bobby, maybe Travis will be in the tour, right? He might be out there dancing on stage. He might be part of the show. He already has been part of the show. Thank you to Fernando as well, posting the stream. Maybe we'll see Fernando. We got a little bit of soccer today, right? There is one Boxing Day game in the EPL today with Man U hosting Newcastle. That's a pretty cool game, man. I mean, that is a nice game there, man. There's been a kind of a big move on that game too. It seems like Manchester United was a pretty big favorite, but it's moved to a near pick'em.
Final.
Also, just finished here in England Championship. Derby and Birmingham City just finished now. And I'm going to put on the Millwall game here. And then the top of the hour, there's a bunch of games in England Championship. So pretty cool. I have a little bit of action here to watch as we do the show. All right. And let's see here. That might be it from you guys in the chat. Hey, everyone. You can get more picks from me here today over at winnable.com/Ramon. I said I was going to introduce my props, and I totally laid an egg in my first day of props action. Any logical person would stop and say that was a bad idea, but I'm not. We're going to continue with the props as part of the paid package, but we'll revamp them a little bit. I'll do a better job. Probably should have went with a lot of these unders that I loved. Nobody loves unders, but I got to be realistic here and make sure I'm giving out the best plays. So we'll do that from now on. But go to winnable.com/Ramon and you can subscribe. In fact, yesterday, that was a great reaction from you guys. I know it was kind of sudden, so we'll skip the drawing one more day today because of the holiday. Let's do it one more time. I was so thrilled with how many people signed up yesterday. Let's do it one more time as a Christmas, gift. I hope it's a gift. I hope I pick winners. I guess everybody else thought it was like coal in their stocking. But according to the president who told those kids who called the hotline, coal is good in your stocking. Coal is what you want in your stocking. Great coal from the mines of West Virginia. If you get coal in your stocking, you should be happy and thankful. Anyways, let's do it. Promo code Xmas gets you a 7-day package for free right now, and I'll try not to bury you here. So check me out. I've been hot. I hope the subscribers back me up there. I've been hot with my premium picks over winnable.com until yesterday. But check it out. I'll do it. I'll try it again. I better do it again and offer it up after yesterday's downer day. So use the promo code Xmas. Remember Xmas? Yeah, it's a real thing. And that'll get you a 7-day package over at winnable.com. Compliments of me. I pull the strings here. I say what goes, and I say let's do free subscription for the next 7 days. Anybody uses the promo code Xmas, it's my gift, hopefully, to you guys here with winnable.com. So check it out. There'll be no drawing today. We'll just do this, and I'll remind you again at the end of the show. But go to winnable.com/Ramon. I really would love to have you signed up. I'm trying to kind of set my own personal record here. And while I'd love to charge, it will charge you after 7 days if you don't unsubscribe. So be ready for that at the weekly rate of $8. So just want to make sure I'm trying to pull a fast one on you. That's how business is done. You know that. You get a free trial, and it says it'll start up if you like it or whatever. And it's, kind of like a something for you, so you didn't have to worry about it. So please consider signing up over at winnable.com/Ramon. Use the promo code Xmas. Okay. Other NBA last night. Hey, Dallas and Golden State there. Hey, Golden State did the job. Good job, Golden State. No problem. I was calling maybe for a Dallas upset. Obviously, a pretty good performance though uh, Cooper Flag. Because look, he had a pretty strong game, right? The second most points ever by a teenager on Christmas, only second to LeBron. They did lose the game there last night. The Warriors were able to uh, get the victory in that one over Dallas. That's okay. There as it was, 126 to 116. Dallas still almost got the money, but the Warriors got the money behind Jimmy Butler, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and Melton, 16 points off the bench in just 24 minutes in that game. Cleveland started the day with a loss to the Knicks, 126-124. It was Tyler Kolek day there at the Garden as the Knicks won it 126-124 there over the Cavs in that one. The Knicks were down 17 points in kind of a back and forth game. It kind of kept going one way, then the other, then the comeback, and the Knicks were able to get the win at home. 126 to 124. We had that mentioned the Spurs and the Thunder. De'Aaron Fox had 29 in that one for the Spurs, 117 to 102 in that one. So also last night, Lakers and the Rockets. The Rockets destroyed them. Of course, Houston had 6 players score in double figures. Impressive there for sure. Yesterday in that one, as also the Rockets had shot 61% from inside, and they were able to take down the Lakers there yesterday. Also, late night, man, did you see it? The great game there last night with the Nuggets and the Wolves. You might have, after 14 hours, you might have fell asleep to that one. Well, the Nuggets got the win in a 142 to 138 victory in overtime as Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray became the first pair in NBA history to ever combine for over 90 points and 25 assists in a game. So the Nuggets look good in that one. And that was it. Other than that, with the football, we'll get ready to go with the show right now. Why not? And just one match on Boxing Day, says Bobby Mack today. And AD left the game there yesterday. Oh, gosh. Right? There also. Andrew G is here. One breaking news story this afternoon for sure, just coming out within the last couple of minutes. And this one, I'll say within the last hour, but this one's got traction for sure. Michigan, in trying to clean up the mess left by, well, I don't want to say both of their coaches. I'm a Harbaugh fan, but he obviously was running a little bit rogue up there with his scandals. As well, although they weren't kind of the same. Although if you think about Moore and his role in that organization anyway, before he got fired, but Kyle Whittingham, this one, I mean, come on, this is a no-brainer. If he's going to come back or whatever, maybe this was part of the plan all along with leaving Utah, but. You'd have to think that this is a no-brainer situation. You already heard Coach Poggi say what he thought about what's going on there at Michigan. Very, and he's not a head coach. I mean, he's the interim coach here right now, and they're going to go out and get a head coach. And it pretty much, I feel like it's going to be Kyle Whittingham. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you got a huge name like Whittingham and Michigan, who needs someone like a Whittingham to come in here and clean this mess up. And Whittingham, the way he ran it at Utah, it seems to make perfect sense. He's going to come in there and clean things up. You don't want to say it like that, like one guy is so much better than the other, but uh, does run a pretty tight ship, and that's what Michigan needs right now. So I'm sure he's going to get paid handily here and be the next head coach of Michigan. Anyways, the rumor mill is already fired up today with that one. I don't know why I didn't see that one coming. I'm sure some other folks did, but no doubt it does seem like a no-brainer to send Winningham to Michigan to get things cleaned up there. Makes perfect sense. I would think it would happen sooner rather than later. We'll see how long it takes Kyle Winningham to get up to Ann Arbor and put his name on a contract. Feels like to me a no-brainer. Okay, so that was kind of the big news I thought from yesterday. And the other big news is we got 3 bowl games to go. So let's get ready to start the show because we could finish this within the hour for sure with our 12-game card here today. But it's going to be a great weekend as well. Merry Christmas and everyone. If I didn't get to see you yesterday, I was here. Where were you? Let's go to college football today and get the show underway. Speaking of Michigan, I'll tell you, I'll tie it in here to Michigan a little bit with this one, with Central Michigan taking on the Northwestern Wildcats. The Chippewas coming in here, a 10-point underdog to the Wildcats in this matchup. You got Central Michigan coming in here right now, 7-5 this season. They've won 4 of their last 6 games coming into the Game Above Sports Bowl here in Detroit. It's been named a few things over the years. Why not have another? This one's played at Ford Field in Detroit, indoors, of course. Chippewas come in here with the junior quarterback Labas in here. Now, I think he is expected to see most of the action. There has been some word that Angel Flores, but he was ruled probable. He had played several games this season. He was the quarterback for basically 5 games this year, but had been out here for a little while. But in a game like today, we could see both quarterbacks in there. I think Labas is probably hotter right now or played in more games. Flores was really consistent mid-season in a series of wins over Wagner, EMU, and Bowling Green. But right now, it's kind of been Labas here a little bit. For the Wildcats, it'll be Preston Stone in there at quarterback. Look, it's going to be tough. I mean, Central Michigan does have a pretty good defense right now. And let's get into some of the stats with these guys. I mean, you do have a big discrepancy here with the Big Ten team going up against the MAC team. I get that. But, hey, this is kind of the MAC bowl thing. This is the MAC where they play their championship game, if you will. The MAC that plays in this game all the time. Big Ten's been here before too, but this is Central Michigan's first bowl game in 4 years, so that has to be a little bit of a consideration. And they've had 3 losses this year by more than 18 points, and they are a 10-point dog. Also, Central Michigan played Michigan this year. They lost 63-3 to the Wolverines. Meanwhile, Northwestern played Michigan and lost at home by just 2 points. Now, that was at home. Central Michigan was in the big house on their game, of course. But don't compare, I don't think, common opponents here. Otherwise, you'll have basically Northwestern winning this game by 60 points or more, which maybe you do like them there, but I don't know about that. I mean, Central Michigan feels like a pretty good chance here to hang in here, I think, in this one. Chippewas 13-10 last 23 as an underdog against the spread. In their last 5 bowl games, like I said, they haven't been to a bowl game in a while, but they were 1-4 straight up and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 bowl games. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7. MAC non-conference underdogs were 23-17 against the spread this season. For the Purple Cats, 2 of their 5 wins this season, at least against FBS opponents, were by 19 points or more, but Northwestern did lose 4 of their last 5 games overall, including a season-ending loss to Illinois on the road, 20-13. But they beat Minnesota at home, did not cover as a 4-point favorite. Before that, had that Michigan loss. Also, got blown out at USC, lost at Nebraska as a favorite. Central Michigan, meanwhile, did lose to Purdue 21-3, but did beat Kent and covered, beat Buffalo and covered against Western Michigan and lost as a 6-point favorite, and covered against UMass in a 25-point win. They were on a cover streak before the end of the season loss there. Central Michigan went 8-4 against the spread this season. Northwestern 6-4-2 against the spread. Northwestern did go 3-2 as a favorite here. So Wildcats were just let's see here, 3-5 against the spread under Coach Braun here as a favorite. Northwestern has won 5 straight bowl appearances, going 4-1 against the spread. Big Ten non-conference favorites were 17-17 against the spread this season. These two teams have not met since before the pandemic. MAC teams this year against the Big Ten were 0-13, but 7-6 against the spread. The MAC team has been to this bowl for 5 straight years and went 3-2 against the spread. And they're obviously getting some points here in this one. So let's hear from you. Central Michigan went 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Also, Central Michigan against the Big Ten. It is a bit of a deal for sure. I've talked about some of those other numbers as well, MAC teams against the Big Ten. You can throw in Central Michigan. Of course, in the group, they're actually 0-8 in their last 8 games straight up against the Big Ten Conference. Meanwhile, Northwestern here, they've lost 4 of their last 5. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5 games overall. Northwestern against the MAC has gone under in 13 of their last 16 games against MAC competition. Northwestern trended under a little bit this season, but Central Michigan was 7-5 to the over here. Let's hear from you in the chat in this matchup and see what you have here at the Sports Bowl. What is it called? Oh, the days of the Game Above Sports Bowl. What is Game Above? I'll have to look into that. That sounds neat. Let's go to the chat. We got I've got a couple dozen comments in here. I better get it right. Here we go. Okay, Justin likes Central Michigan here. Andrew says they should trade. OKC should trade for Giannis, trade for Giannis so they can beat the Spurs, so they have someone to go up against Wemby. Central Michigan under here for Justin. LALV likes the under in the first half. Robert likes the under here. Good morning to Art Tomps. Philly Eagle Flyer ready to go. Nuke likes Northwestern. Lay it here with the Big Ten. And R. Tom's liking Northwestern. However, D Money is here. Mike Humphrey says, get the chips going. Take them plus the points. D Money likes Northwestern. Twisted is leaning there too. Central Michigan. AOD still talking about that Cal-Hawaii game from the other night. Greg here likes this one. Pretty much right on the money. All right, let's see here. Mike says, you got to slow it up here with these two teams a little bit.
Final.
And what is it? I think, is that Terrell saying go over? Is that what he's saying there? Ipswich and Millwall just finished scoreless. All right, let's see. Oklahoma definitely. Hey, don't worry. They got draft picks coming, right? Says Terrell. Northwestern for 9 legacy. And the groovy alien Aubrey Travis says, "Can't believe they can't beat the Spurs." Oh, I'm with you. I like the under here with Central Michigan and Northwestern. I'm going to go with the under here, and it's borderline at 43. I think it definitely will be pretty close to that, but I'm going to have to take the under in this one between Central Michigan and Northwestern. All right, is that it from the chat? At the Sports Bowl. All right, next up, we're going to Phoenix for the Guaranteed Rate Bowl here at Chase Field between Mountain West entry, New Mexico, and Big Ten team here, Minnesota. Yes, Hawaii did win the other night over Cal. Mountain West won the other Mountain West team, but they were at home. They were at home, right? I mean, that was the whole part of the whole handicap. We talked about it, and that was a little different. Other than that, the Mountain West teams, they've been an embarrassment. But you got to give New Mexico a lot of credit for the season that they did have here and the winning streak that they are currently on. Of course, it included the last game they won over San Diego State, 23-17. They also won and covered against Air Force. They beat Colorado State. Didn't cover as a big favorite, but beat UNLV, beat Utah State, really unrewarded without a trip to the Mountain West Championship game. You figure they beat UNLV on the road and still didn't get a chance to go. UNLV, New Mexico here 4-2 against the spread as an underdog, 7-5 against the spread overall here. Also, Minnesota comes in here 4-1 against the spread as a favorite this season, 4-7-1 against the spread overall. But like I said, the Mountain West just has not looked good in the bowl season so far, and basically have this one as almost a pick 'em right now. Minnesota's been pretty good in close games. They went 3-1 in games decided by 8 points or less. This season here. So also Mexico 4-2 to the over as a dog, but Minnesota was 1-4 to the under as a favorite. You got a New Mexico team here that also returning to the bowls for the first time in 9 seasons. That's how good their season was, and they hadn't been great. They were last at a bowl in 2016. They went under in 5 of their last 6 games, did the Lobos. These two teams haven't met in 6 years. The favorites have covered in this bowl game 4 of the last 5 times. Big Ten teams were 4-2 straight up, just 1-5 against the spread against Mountain West competition, usually just basically favored by too many points. Here, they're only a 1.5 point favorite against New Mexico. So, man, let's see what you have here. But, geez, could the Mountain West? They're not going to win any bowl games other than the Hawaii Bowl. It would seem like to me. So for New Mexico here, you got Jack Lane in there. He's had a deficient season, nearly a 66% completion rate, 8 yards per attempt. And, he's willing to sling it a little bit. Did get sacked 28 times. And, I'm looking at this receiving core a little bit for New Mexico here. They're a little bit thin with Johnson as their main man, of course, Keegan Johnson here, and tight end Dorian Thomas might be set up for a pretty good game, but they do have limited pass catchers here for sure. For the Gophers here, meanwhile, and Drake Lindsay, 360 attempts on the season, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Not necessarily explosive, but they're kind of lacking the numbers in the receiving department as well. They're lacking skilled players all around, but they do have Lemeke Brockington as their top guy here, and also their tight end, Jamison Gears. Watch out for him. He's coming off of pretty much a career performance last game with 4 catches, including a touchdown in this one. So I've got another under here, I think, in this one. Give me the under at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. I think it's going to be hard for New Mexico to score, actually, in this game against Minnesota tonight. Let me hear from you in the chat and give me your pick at the Rate Bowl here in Arizona. You might think that New Mexico would have the big crowd because of the proximity from New Mexico to Phoenix, and they will be represented, but that Minnesota makes it a habit to go to Arizona. Minnesotans go to Phoenix. That's what they do, even without football games. They go to Arizona in December. All right. Don't forget, Nuke says Minnesota 6-0 in bowl games. Minnesota's won 8 straight bowl games. So we talked about the success of New Mexico in bowl games, but they haven't been in a while. Meanwhile, Minnesota, they've always cleaned up in bowl games. They've won 8 straight, says Nuke. And Greg here, he likes New Mexico to win in this one. And Aubrey says over here. And Gooey is a little late on the draw here with that other game, but we'll have his comments up there. I think he's saying New Mexico, Central Michigan in that other game. LALB likes the Lobos here as well. A lot of Lobo support here, but I'm down on the Mountain West, so that's for sure. All right. Twisted says over, and he's going to take New Mexico. Lots of New Mexico support. 9 Legacy here, Minnesota in the under. Nuke is on the Gophers, however. Our Tops likes the under in the game. VAR likes the over. And Greg says, whoever has the ball last is going to win this one. He expects it to be a photo finish. All right, I'll take another under. Give me the under here in this one with New Mexico and Minnesota. All right. Gooey says that the line is moving here currently in the football game, huh? All right. I'm still showing some 10s, 10.5s out there. I think Terrell is going to take the Lobos in this one. All right. And that's going to do it in that one. All right. Let's get to our final bowl game of the night. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We're going to Dallas, to the Ford Stadium. And the First Responder Bowl here with FIU taking on UTSA. In this one, we've seen a line move here since I typed this in. We're down to 5.5 or 5 right now, and the move is on Florida International as Texas San Antonio is down to a 5 or 5.5 point favorite in this one at the First Responder Bowl. That's a bowl that we can get behind, honoring our first responders. The Panthers come in here 7-5, but they're on a 4-game winning streak with wins and covers over Middle Tennessee. They crushed them 56-30. They beat Liberty at home 34-27. Beat Jacksonville State at home 27-22 and routed Sam Houston 56-16 on the road as a 10.5 point favorite. FIU comes in 8-4 against the spread as well this season. Now UTSA just 3-4 against the spread as a favorite, coming in here off of a loss to Army, 27-24 last time out. They did get wins over ECU, a win and cover, 58-24. They also beat up on lowly Charlotte on the road, 28-7. They lost at USF 55-23. We know USF was pretty good, and they beat Tulane 48-26. For FIU here, they won their last four, as I mentioned, averaging 42.3 points per game here, but also they did give it up a little bit as well. For FIU, they've averaged 250 points, 250 yards rushing in their last two games, actually coming in. So, look, I think this one here feels like a game that's going to be, you talk about volatility. I've got to think we're going to see some points in this one. Let me hear from you with the FIU and UTSA here in this one. Man, it's a total 60. I don't know if it's going to even contain that. UTSA did go 9-3 to the over this season. FIU went 4-2 to the over as an underdog. You've got Keon Jenkins here for FIU, completed 63% of his passes, just 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions this season. But for UTSA, Owen McCown here, he'll be the best quarterback on the field, I would think, here today. 27 yards passing, 2,700 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. UTSA is going to be throwing the ball all over the place, probably upwards of 35 to 40 passing attempts in this game. So, look, if they get out to a lead, they're not going to stop. I think this one's going way over. This might be a premium. I think this one gets into the high 60s here with FIU and UTSA today. Give me the over in this one. I got 3 totals here in the bowls today. Let me hear from you, though. Both teams average over 400 yards per game. UTSA has gone over in 6 of their last 7 games coming in. And, well, FIU's gone over in 4 of their last 6 as well. So let me hear from you. Also, UTSA here, 14 straight wins over Conference USA competition for the Roadrunners. That's pretty good. Yeah, they're favored by 5, but they still dominate this conference a little bit coming in. UTSA did beat FIU 3 years ago, so it was 30-10. They were a 33-point favorite in that one, so I don't know if that's totally indicative. Still, American Conference and Conference USA, this bowl always hosts that particular matchup. UTSA has won its last 2 bowls, 35-17 and also 44-15. So they have been dominant in their 2 bowl games here of late. All right, let me hear from you guys in the chat. And I'm trying to put on a good game to watch here in the soccer today. Here we go with the chat. 3rd bowl game. Here we go. All right, 9 Legacies on FIU. Justin likes the over as well. Our Tom's on FIU.
Final.
Bar likes the under, though. Twisted UTSA and over. LALB FIU to win this one outright. Bobby Mack liking the Roadrunner. And Nuke says Roadrunners by double digits. Steve Eleftherian's here today. Hello. He said they should win easy and get that money. Thank you to Steve. Greg says he likes San Antonio here to win this one, but I think he likes FIU to cover the spread, and so does Aubrey, the groovy alien. That might be it from the crew. I'll take the over in this one, but I'm probably going to have a little premium action for the subscribers here. So get with me today over at winnable.com and get my winner for the FIU and UTSA. I'll put it up here after the show. Remember, use the promo code Xmas to get 1 free week of the picks. You want my pick in that game tonight? Get signed up over at winnable.com. Good morning to M the Great in the chat. We had a wonderful day yesterday, and it's only going to get better this weekend. All right, I guess that's it for the football. Thank you, everybody, for that. And we got NBA here. Markets opened up and they kind of tumbled here. You guys were talking, put your money in silver. You were saying yes. Who was saying that yesterday, right? All right, let's go to the NBA. We got a 9-game card here. Good card on Friday. And we'll be able to knock this one out here pretty quick. Started off with the Toronto Raptors on the road taking on the Washington Wizards. Wizards have dropped 2 straight coming in. They're, 5-23 this season. Toronto 18-13. They come in here off of a win over Miami, stopped a 2-game losing streak, 112-91. Washington, meanwhile, lost to San Antonio at home, but they did get the money, and they lost to Charlotte on the road, got blown out in that one. Toronto here, 7-12 against the spread as a favorite, but Washington 4-8 against the spread at home. Toronto is 9-7 against the spread on the road, but a lot of those were as underdogs when they've been able to get those covers here. Toronto just 3-10 against the spread in their last 13 games overall. Washington at least has covered 4 of their last 6 coming in. Now Toronto's kind of had these guys' number. They just beat them back in November, 140-110 at home. And Toronto also won the game at Washington very early in the season, 113-112. Although they did not cover 5 points in that one. So see what you have here with this one. You have a Washington team here. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5. Toronto's gone under in 6 straight. Washington has gone under in 7 of their last 10 matchups against the Raptors. Let's hear from you in the chat and make your call in this one with Toronto and Washington today. Here in Washington. Here we go. All right. LALB says gold is where it's at. Yeah, maybe, but right now silver is where it's at. Silver is where it's at, especially if you bought some before the surge here, man. You could between silver, imagine instead of giving a gift of silver to your loved one on Christmas, you could have just said, hey, here's a barrel of oil. Irish King there. Aubrey says Raptors smash it. Justin's on the under in this one. Greg has this one as a cover for the Wizards today. Thank you, Andrew. We're trying to get hot. We've got to do a little better with those props, man. Let's see here. AOD says the Raptors will smack them down. LALB likes the under in this one. And Washington here for Terrell. Also Washington for Robert, right? I mean, you're going to ask the Raptors to come in here. Washington's been pretty bad, but the Raptors are not a great favorite. And I think just too many points for a mediocre team. I say mediocre. They're still 18-13, doing a pretty good job right now. I think the Raptors get passing grade here going into the post-Christmas part of the season. Washington first quarter, then the Raptors to hammer them. All right. I guess that'll take care of business here right now. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Wizards here in this one, plus the points today. And figure it's just a few too many. I don't think they can get double digits. I think the Raptors win, of course, here in this one. But I'm going to have to grab Washington in this one to cover. And so is our Tomps. The Miami Heat take on the Atlanta Hawks. NBA action here for Friday with the Hawks favored by 3, maybe 2.5 now. We're seeing a little bit of move on Miami here. The total, 247.5. This one just continues to go up and up and up. This one opened as low as 243.5. We're seeing 248 right now at some spots. Man, is that really how it's going to go today with Miami and Atlanta? Two teams that are definitely struggling here right now with Miami, 3 straight losses to Boston, New York, and Toronto. They did cover on the road against the Knicks, but still, right now, not the best cover team of late. However, they are 9-5-1 as an underdog uh, this season are the Miami Heat. Meanwhile, Atlanta is one of the worst spread favorites this year. They're 5-11 against the spread. Also, 4-10 against the spread at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here, obviously, and it does feel like it's going to be upwards of 250 or so, but it's getting a little bit sketchy for sure if you wanted to go with it. I happen to think it still is going to be flirting more so with the over than just getting stuck on an under here. It may be a sweat to get there, or if it ends up short, but I don't think we're going to be in the 230s necessarily in this one with Miami and Atlanta here tonight. Let's hear from you in the chat, though. Between these two, and yeah, the spread just continues to go down. I'm still going to take Miami as my pick here to get it done. They haven't been playing great, we know that. They're still just a 500 team, and they are 5-10 against the spread on the road, or straight up on the road. And Atlanta, however, just 4-10 straight up, or 5-9 straight up at home, and 4-10 against the spread at home, as we mentioned. So I'm going to take Miami here. You can just put me on the record right now. We can go to the chat if you want. Miami's lost 8 of their last 9. I can't really spin it any other way. They have covered 6 of the last 9 against Atlanta overall, but still just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. However, Atlanta's failed to cover in 6 straight games. They've lost 5 of their last 6. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over, so maybe that kind of shows where it could be headed. Although Miami's gone under in 7 of their last 9, Atlanta's gone over in 6 of their last 8. Let's hear from you in the chat. Make the call. And hey, Merry Christmas to you, DeAndre. Really nice to see you in there. Hope to see you sometime this weekend. Great job. And feel better, DeAndre. Take it from an old guy, right? Triple vax, quadruple boosted here for the holidays. And if you believe that, let's see here. Hawks for 9 legacy. Robert's on the Heat. Greg says Atlanta spread was 4.5. It just keeps going down, right? The move consistent here to Miami in this one. I don't think it's necessarily injury related, although Tyler Hero is out of this game. Could be a big factor, although I know a lot of you would say, hey, take Hero out of this lineup. Miami's actually a better team right now. Still, 23 points per game is something to consider. And Bam is questionable as well, but I think he's trending in for sure. I think that's part of the process with this move a little bit, that Bam will be in the game. Keshad Johnson, he's questionable. Wiggins probable. Mitchell probable. Larson probable. Jovic probable. Dyson Daniels probable for the Hawks. Dante is out. Atlanta hasn't covered in a home favorite at all here of late. They're in a tailspin, says Steve Eleftherian. Greg here says Miami wins it in a buzzer beater. He's got it there, and he's got it over. That's a strong one from Greg. Justin liking the over as well. Hello to Jimmy Wynn today. Nice to see you. Thank you, Jimmy, for stopping by. Final. And LALB says go over here. This one could go overtime. Miami will win in overtime, says Greg. He says this game's moving because everyone is taking Miami. Maybe it is the right move, with Bam questionable, and you've got, obviously a key injury there with Hero. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and take them, though. I'm taking Miami in this one. These two teams did meet back on October the 13th, and Atlanta got the win as 4.5-point dog at home, 119 to 118. VAR likes Miami on the money line in this one. The Charlotte Hornets are taking on the Orlando Magic here. NBA action for Friday. Orlando a favorite here at home by 5.5. Total 2,321. Look at that. Well, I got to go under in that one. I mean, I know it could be high scoring, but all right, let me fix that here. 232, I guess, right? There we go. With the Magic at home here, winners of 2 of their last 3. They won last time out, a victory over Portland, 110 to 106 on the road. They were on a 4-game road trip where they went 2-4, but 1-3 against the spread. They didn't cover as a favorite at Utah, but that's all right. They got the win there. They're back home here right now, taking on a Charlotte team that's been pretty hot to the number here of late, and they're coming in off a win at home over Washington, crushed them by 17, covering 6.5. They also covered on the road against Cleveland in a 7-point loss. Did get blown out by Detroit, but won and covered against Atlanta, and then did win and cover against Cleveland before losing to Cleveland, and maybe a little bit of revenge there. Charlotte 14-11 against the spread as an underdog. Orlando 6-9 ATS at home, 9-12 ATS as a favorite. So they don't necessarily get it done spread wise here. Does Orlando? Another one of those teams where they're 17-13 straight up, but 13-17 against the spread. They win but don't cover. For Charlotte, they're 10-20 straight up, but 16-14 against the spread. Not overwhelming, but they do usually get enough points. Is this enough to tempt you, though? The widely reported steam came in on the over. I don't know if that's going to necessarily be the case here, but that is 232. But I don't know. I kind of was thinking it could be an under, man. Charlotte's one of the biggest under teams going. 11-19 to the under this season, and 8-17 to the under as an underdog. So all they got to do is kind of keep this within range, I think, for the Hornets here. Maybe to get a cover even in this one. I think I'm going to take the Hornets, actually, plus the points. Now, the Hornets here do have Plumlee out of this game. Kalkbrenner is out of this game as well. For Orlando, though, Franz Wagner does miss here again. Suggs is doubtful here. De Silva, probable. Batadze, questionable. So there's some injuries there for Orlando that might benefit as well. Go to the chat and see what you have here. Charlotte's covered 4 of their last 5. They are 0-5 against the spread, their last 5 games against Orlando. Orlando's gone under in 6 of their last 9. Charlotte's gone under in 11 of their last 14, and 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone under, including a matchup here at Charlotte in October. Orlando won at 123-107 as a 3.5-point favorite. But I'm going to take the Hornets here plus some points against Orlando in this one. That might not be a very popular pick, but I'm going to take them. Let's go to the chat here in this one with Jimmy liking the Madge here. He says Magic should cover this one at home. Greg here likes the Magic to cover as well. He says this is a gift to you. Take the Magic. Jimmy never plays an over on a Magic game. Magic the Gathering. LALB, first half under. Gooey's going to get horned up with the Hornets. First half money line and take the full game spread. 9 Legacy says Hornets. Robert's on the under here. And Magic, yeah, those are some key names, right, Jimmy? But maybe that's part of it. Maybe they would have been favored by more, actually. Terrell says Magic missing too many tough guys. 6 points is a little bit of a tarp. AOD says he thinks the 1-800 gambler play of the day. Robert likes the Hornets here as well. That might do it for you guys in this one. I'll take the Hornets here. And I'm probably, You know me, I'm a steam chaser, but I'm not sure about that steam to the over in this one. All right, the Celtics on the road here, taking on the Pacers. Celtics a big 8.5, 9 point favorite. The Celtics have won three in a row right now. Wins over here. Miami, they covered. Toronto, they covered. They didn't cover against Indiana. In fact, these two teams just met back on December 22nd, and it was Boston winning 103-95 as an 11.5 point favorite at home. Indiana got the money. So Indiana since then has played Milwaukee. They did lose to them 111-94. They were on the back-to-back that night at home after covering against them. Indiana's on a losing streak right now for sure. They've lost 6 straight. Boston's gone, however, just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games against Indiana. But Boston's covered 10 of their last 13 right now. They've been winning and they've been covering some games and they've been a little bit of an underdog. 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over here. Now, this season, you look at it, you might think under. Indiana's 11-19 to the under this season. Boston trends a little bit under as well here. They just went under in that game with Indiana last time out. But all the way down here to, I say down here to 221, 222, right? Here's the thing. So this total was 219 and it's only gone up here, even if the last game went under. I think to me that says it's going to go over. I'm going to go over in this game here. I think the trends would say under if you looked at it objectively. Boston under in 4 of their last 5, Indiana under in 6 of their last 8. But like I said, 8 of the last 10 meetings had gone over. The under was the last, like I said, was the last game they played. They also played an under last year here in Indiana, 105-102. Boston got that win. They've alternated wins and losses here between these two teams, actually. This would be the Pacers' turn. I think the Pacers are going to be able to hang in this game. It's not 9, though, right? I have the spread. It's 8.5. That's too high. But I'll take the over here as my pick. But yeah, I don't know. That's too high. It opened 7.5 here at a few spots, but I'm going to go ahead and take the over in this one. I liked it at 219 or so, but at 221, let's just make it my free play here on the Morning Steam Show. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. It's Justin with the Pacers plus the points. Yeah, I gotta feel that way too. Here's Grizzlies though. Oh, Grizzlies back there for 9 legacy, get a little ahead of us there, but that's all right. Robert likes the over and he likes the Celtics LALB first half under. And Jimmy says on a Friday night, I'll take the over in this one. And look at Jimmy's little friend right there. You see, that is one large, it looks like a very large cat. I hope I'm not insulting the cat. All right, Pacers been playing tough lately, he says. Cash Kane. They've been hanging in there. They're game losing streak. Oh, it's a blue Russian cat, so that's a very unique breed, huh? Greg says here, he's got the Pacers, I think, there, and he's got the over. Let's face it, Greg's pick is on the over in this game. All right, next up. How about the 76ers taking on the Bulls in this one? And you got the Bulls here favored by 1. Total 239.5. The Bulls might be up to a 1.5 point favorite even here right now in this one. But note the difference of these two drastic records here. Chicago, they are the favorite here. I will say this. We are starting to see the Sixers maybe move to the favorite. So darn it, I ruined the script. I was going to say Chicago, we've said it before, 2-11-1 against the spread as a favorite this season. Dismal. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, 9-1-1 against the spread on the road. They've been a strong road team. Now, look, you can throw that out, I guess, because the Bulls and maybe they're a pick 'em at best. Some of the sharp books are holding on here to the Bulls -1, but it's pretty much a toss up. So maybe you can throw that out. The Bulls, what can you say? They're just a break even proposition. Period. Philadelphia, though, like I said, if just in case they were, if it is one, Philadelphia's 4-10 straight up as an underdog. But still, when you get it that close, you're gonna not probably not rely on the trends so much here, but still, these two teams did meet back on November 1st, and Chicago won a close game, 113 to 111. It was a push on that night, but man, the Sixers here, they're pretty effective. 17-10 against the spread. Here, the injuries might be the big factor here. Just the fact that the Sixers, they do have quite a few. Embiid questionable, Edgecombe questionable, Grimes is questionable, Barlow's questionable as well. Watford is out. So basically, the Bulls have a pretty much a clean injury report here. That may be enough to put them over the top, especially if Embiid here, we don't know at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and come on in here and see what happens maybe with the injury report. I kind of want to take Philly. You might see him later on, just depending on the injuries. I'm going to take the under as my morning steam play. You have Chicago 4-9 to the under at home this season. So I'll try the under between these two. The last one did go well under this number. 224 points was the final score there. And I think if you look at the trends overall with these teams, you got 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under. The only over was last season, and it was a blowout by the Bulls on the road, 142 to 110. Other than that, 9 of the previous 10 have gone under. Philly's gone under in 6 of 9, and Chicago's gone under in 8 of its last 12 games. So I'll take the under here. I want to wait on the injury information, so maybe we'll have this one as a premium later on. Chicago's covered 5 of their last 6 ATS. They've won 5 of their last 6 overall, but Philly's won 6 of 9 and covered 4 of its last 5 coming in. They had wins over the Knicks, wins over Dallas, and they were on a cover streak before they got upset by Brooklyn last time out. Chicago, meanwhile, has won and covered 4 straight. But it was back-to-back wins against Cleveland in a home. They were underdogs in both those games. Then they also beat Atlanta in consecutive games on the road, 2 games in 3 nights. And they were underdogs in both those games. So 4 straight wins as an underdog for Chicago, including 3 straight wins on the road. Coming back home here right now, playing better again. Very streaky, the Bulls are, huh? Let's see what you've got in the chat with this one. A lot of comments here. Oh, Jimmy, okay, Jimmy, great. Man, that was your cat that has passed. So great cat there. Okay, Justin here likes the Sixers to win this one. And Power Critter says the Sixers got a little flu bug. Uh-oh. They didn't get their COVID shots. R. Thompson's on the Sixers here. Greg's liking Philly in this one. Farr likes the under. And 9 Legacy went with the Pacers. Greg says you can't trust Chicago. Robert's on the Sixers here. That's going to be the way that I'm going, but do want to see there. And just because we'll see what happens with the personnel doesn't necessarily mean I won't be on or off. Take the Bulls as a dog, fade them as a favorite. What if it's a pick 'em, Terrell, like it is here? Feels like it is a pick 'em now. 9 Legacy says 76ers on the money line. Steve says the Bulls haven't covered as a favorite at home in the last 6 games. Yeah, they've been not a great favorite for sure. Like we said, that 2-11-1 record as a favorite. But again, I'm listing it as -1. Usually when you're a favorite, it's because you're laying more points than that. Bulls have looked good in the last 4 games. And let's see, LALB, first half under. Hello to Blue in the chat. He likes the Bulls. Hello to Nick Handy today. Hi, Nick. Yeah, it doesn't feel like, hey, it's a holiday. It's a holiday, said the president. All right, Maxie, to light it up here for Philly. Hello, good morning, Jermaine. Aubrey likes the Bulls. Blue liking the Bulls. Mike Humphrey says Friday is a great feeling. Cash Kane likes the Bulls. If the game was in Philly, he would take the Sixers. Maybe an over, says Blue. I'll take the under. I'm going under in this one. Right, the Bucks and the Grizzlies now here on Friday night from Memphis. Both teams coming in off of a win here. Milwaukee beat Indiana 111-94, snapping a 3-game losing streak. Memphis beat Utah on the road 137-128, covering 4.5, snapping a 2-game slide. Memphis has been a very good favorite this season. They are 9-4 against the spread as a favorite coming in. Meanwhile, Milwaukee just 6-8 against the spread on the road coming in, and 4-10 straight up. Memphis is 10-3 straight up as a favorite, although just 6-8 straight up at home. These two teams have not yet met this season. Milwaukee comes in having gone 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 games against the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has gone 10-5 straight up and against the spread in their last 15 overall. Milwaukee's covered 4 of their last 6 coming in, but still dropped 13 of their last 17 games overall. They're 6 games under 500. Memphis 14-16 coming in. Memphis has gone under in 8 of their last 12 games at home. Milwaukee's gone under in 5 straight and 10 of their last 14 on the road here. Also, Memphis has gone under in 12 of their last 18. I got to go under here in this one at 228. Give me the under here with Milwaukee and Memphis. That's going to be my selection here in this one on the Morning Steam Show. Milwaukee's gone under in 8 of their last 10 as well. And Blue likes Memphis and under here. Greg there says, what is he saying? He likes Memphis there in that one. All right. To give you guys a second there, I kind of went a little quickly there. But let's see. Cash. Okay, tough game. Cash Kane. Okay, maybe it is a little bit tough here with these two, right? Especially with, you got Memphis here. They haven't been great. I get all that. They're favored by kind of quite a few points. But again, 9-4 against the spread as a favorite for Memphis here. I know the Sharps are going to be on Milwaukee. Make no mistake. I think the Sharps prefer Milwaukee in this game. It might be even down to 5.5 here at some spots, but look, I'm going under. I also think the Sharps will be on the over in this game, but I'm taking the under here, kind of riding more with the trends. These two teams are combined 23-37 to the under this season. Like I said, they have not met this year, but here we go. A few more here. Greg says Milwaukee's terrible. Cash Kane would take the points. All right, next up, not much from you guys there. Let me go to the Suns and the Pelicans in this one. The Suns are on the road here. 5.5? This one's gone up considerably. Man, this one was 3.5 earlier, and now you're looking at 5.5 here with Phoenix against the Pelicans. Let me check the injury report here. Grayson Allen is out. Jordan Poole's questionable. Herb Jones is out. Okay, I mean, a couple injuries, but 5.5. I know there's not a lot of promise out there, not a lot of hope, not a lot of fans of New Orleans, but definitely are playing their best basketball of the season right now, despite a loss last time out to Cleveland. Yeah, they got blown out, but it probably was only a matter of time after New Orleans was riding a season-high winning streak, including wins over Chicago, Houston, Indiana, and Dallas. It was a pretty good run there. New Orleans kind of getting their groove back, adjusted the lineup a little bit. It's been a pretty good situation here, it feels like, for the Pelicans of late. But the Suns are getting all the attention here right now. Maybe it was they blew out the Lakers last time, 132 to 108. They've covered in 3 straight. And there's no doubt, as much as we talk about the Pelicans as a strong covered team, right? 8-23 straight up, but 19-11 against the spread, 12-5 against the spread at home, 17-11 against the spread as a dog, and 8-2 against the spread in their last 10. Phoenix is 9-2 against the spread as a favorite, and 19-10 against the spread overall. So you do have 2 teams that cover the spread quite frequently, including the Phoenix Suns. Still, New Orleans 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games overall. They've won 5 of 6. Phoenix has covered in 14 of their last 20 games. 13 of the last 14 meetings between these 2 teams here in New Orleans have gone over. They meet here twice a year. They've already met back in Phoenix. Phoenix did blow them out, 121-98 back in November, but here in New Orleans, I mean, New Orleans has been a strong cover for sure. That's a fact. They've been a stronger cover, I think, than Phoenix here right now. So let's see what you have in this one. And look, New Orleans has a terrible record. They're playing a little bit better. They should be better than this record, right? Again, underrated team there if you think about it, because they're 8-23 and still 19-11 against the spread. So they do get it done. Okay, let's go to the chat in this one. Cash Kane likes the Suns. On the money line, I think Blue said the spread's kind of getting away. Aubrey the Groovy Alien says Booker over 29.5. Justin likes the over in this one. I gotta like the over as well. I think, Justin, given what we talked about there with this series history for sure, but you also have not only the teams always go over when playing in New Orleans, you have a New Orleans team that's 13-5 to the over at home, 18-11 to the over as a dog. Phoenix 9-5 to the over on the road. Although Phoenix is 4-7 to the under as a favorite. Pelicans for R. Thompson. Greg says, give me Phoenix. LALV's liking the Suns here. Robert likes the under in this one. Power Critter liking the Pelicans, and Terrell's got said Murphy had a big game there against Phoenix last time out. Blue is on the over. LALB laid that good number last night here. How much did he play it for? Does he want to hedge it or just take that CLV? All right. I think I got to try the Pelicans here in this one, plus the points tonight. Give me New Orleans against Phoenix at that increased price for sure. The Detroit Pistons are on the road taking on the Utah Jazz. You out there, AOD? Detroit, they're back. They had a little bit of a couple missteps in there. They're not gonna go 72-9 or anything. But hey, I mean, it's not out of the question that this team couldn't. When you're clicking at 80%, and you're the Detroit Pistons right now. How are we not talking about this team as one of the biggest surprises of the season so far? Yes, they've been building to this moment, building to a stronger team over the last couple of seasons, but man, has this been a great ride. They just had consecutive wins over Charlotte, over Portland, over Sacramento. We're not going to hold that against them. They're supposed to win those games. They did fail to cover against Sacramento last time out, but only by a half a point. Utah's a great spread team, no doubt about it, 12-5 against the spread at home. Mostly that's where they do their good work. And look, this is still 10 points. I mean, yes, Detroit has been awesome here. They've even won some games as a favorite, covered some games as a favorite, although they're just 500 against the spread as a favorite. Total here of 244 now. This one's gone up even higher. You see some of these Utah games at home, they do get a little out of control, and that's because Utah 13-4 to the over at home. Detroit is 6-9 to the over to the under on the road. To be fair, and Detroit's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. And Utah's gone over in 5 of their last 6. They've also gone over in 16 of 25 as a dog. So, yeah, Utah here getting 10. I don't know. That doesn't seem awful here. They did play back in Detroit back on November the 5th, and Detroit won it 114-103. They covered 9.5 with the 11-point win. Now they're laying basically the same thing on the road against a Utah team that is pretty solid ATS, better than 75% at home so far this season. As Coventry just scored against Swansea here. Let's see if we can look at some other games while I'm trying to do the show here. The show's almost over, actually. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam show. I'm going to take the over in this one with Detroit and Utah. Yeah, I'm going to go over 244 here. I would have maybe went with a premium at 242, but getting a little up there right now. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Detroit basketball, but he says Utah should cover. So no bandwagon. Hey, AUD, if he told us they would cover, you have to take him seriously. If he says it's going to be a tricky cover, you got to take that very seriously, don't you? Utah for Cash Kane. He might even sprinkle here. And here's, let me get the injury report. Actually, this is a big deal. This is the big deal. Actually, Markkanen will play in this game. So look, we think of Markkanen missing a lot of games. He's really only missed 4 games this season, and it was his rest day, I think, last game. So Markkanen and his 28 points in there today. Nurkic probable. Ron Holland is questionable for Detroit, but you got Markkanen in there. It feels like the games, I should look at it. It feels like the games Markkanen misses actually don't cover. They got blown out of that last game by Memphis here at home, 137-128. Utah's lost 4 in a row. They failed to cover in 2 straight. But I'm going to try the over here in this one. Greg here says he's right on the spread there. R. Tomps with the Jazz. Terrell says he's got Keontae George here, 20 plus, and that price has been going up. Nine Legacy says the Pistons will cover there, it looks like. Hello and welcome to Anthony McCrae in the chat. Nice to have you, Anthony. There you go. It sounds like they play back-to-back. Nice. Thank you, Anthony. Great information there. Good to have Anthony McCrae as a member of the chat All-Stars today. Also, Jazz here for LALB. Aubrey says the Jazz are getting smashed by this Detroit team. Steve Eleftherian says he'll take them at home here. Blue is going over. Greg says it was 9. Now it's 10. Anthony says Utah, team total over. All right, that might be it from you guys in this one, and I'll go ahead and take the over as well. And we'll go to the last game. Oh, man. We got almost 80 of you in here, and I'm down to the final game. But here we go with the Clippers on the road, taking on the Trailblazers. Now, look, the Clippers have been bad. I know it. I've been, suffering through another lousy Clippers season, feeling like it's 1977 all over again. They're 8-21, but they've won 2 in a row. Just happened to coincide with Harden's kind of return back to the lineup. Kawhi went off last game for 40 points. Now, look, Portland here, they are at home. they've lost 2 straight all of a sudden. They were on a bit of a winning streak, but consecutive losses here to Detroit and Orlando at home, and they kind of got beat pretty handily in those. They didn't cover. I know that. They were dogs in both those games. Now the Clippers, look, you could look at it this way. If you lined it up trend-wise, 2-11 against the spread for the Clippers as a favorite this season. Portland 13-6 against the spread as an underdog. But consider this series between the division rivals. The Clippers have won 12 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams. They seem to have their stars back in there right now, and they usually beat this team. I really think they should beat this team again here tonight. I think the Clippers get this done and buck those trends a little bit. Clippers have covered 13 of the last 20 overall. They've still lost 10 of their last 13, although they've covered 4 of their last 6 here overall. Have the Clippers. They just beat up on Houston before the break, 128-108, and they beat the Lakers 103-88. They just beat the 2 teams we saw on Christmas Day, and they beat them up in the Intuit Dome pretty handily. Going on the road here, obviously, against this Portland team, but the Clippers already beat Portland once this year, 114-107. They didn't cover in that one now. They were favored by 8.5, but that was way back in October when we didn't know the Clippers were going to be garbage here for a little bit. Can the Clippers at least try to rally this season and try to make the playoffs, because they got a long way to go? Portland here, though, just 12-18. They've been pretty bad this year as well, having lost 13 of their last 19 games overall, failed to cover in 5 of their last 7, dropped 6 of their last 8 at home. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but I'm going to stick to the side here and take the Clippers to win it on the road. I think they have, look, it's going to take more than just a couple of wins to turn it around, but Portland here, let me look at this injury report as well, because you do have Robert Williams, questionable. Grant is out. Chris Murray is questionable. So a few injuries here for Portland. Zubats is out for the Clippers here right now.
Final.
Let's go to the chat one last time. The show will be over. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. 9 Legacy, Clippers, lay it. Robert liking the over here. Greg says Clippers 114-111 there. Let's see. He likes the under there a little bit. Blue liking the Clippers. LALB liking the Clippers. Tough to go with a team that's so bad, but LALB liking the first half under. And Greg says, you know what? You got Kawhi in there. That should be good enough, right? Kawhi always strong here right now. Still averaging 26 points a game. I know everybody. Look, I'm a Kawhi fan. I'm the one making excuses for Kawhi, always missing all the games. But look, between him and Harden averaging over 50 points a game, it's a pretty lethal combo when they're in there. The thing being, I always say it, Kawhi really does have, knee problems. I mean, the guy has no cartilage in his knees, but still has enough to get out there at least half the games and try to give them something. It's been a big, it's probably a losing play by the Clippers overall as far as their ownership. They've probably gone the wrong direction, but they're stuck with this lineup here right now. They're just going to have to make do and hope they can come back and make the playoffs. All right. Thank you, R. Tomps. Good to see you in there. And I think that's it from everybody. Thank you, Cash Kane, as well. I guess the show's over. There's no drawing again tonight here because everyone who wants to can just go on over to winnable.com/Ramon and use the promo code Xmas to get 7 days, 100% off. Free for 7 days. Check my plays out over at winnable.com. I want you to get signed up. That's why I want you to do it. So head on over there to winnable.com. Right there, you're going to see my homepage over there, just like this. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to go over there to winnable.com/Ramon. It's going to be just like that on your phone with that. And then just scroll down a little bit here to the section where it says premium selections, choose weekly, right? There it is, $8 a week. And then look, hit subscribe. Go ahead and hit subscribe. And then it'll come up with a little bit of right there. It'll say you're paying $8, but see where it says apply promo? I'm going to type in here Xmas. And then when you do that, and then you type in the word Xmas, hit the apply button, and then it changes to 0 right there. And you're going to get, now it does say, right, look, starting January 2nd, $8. So if you don't like it, if I've lost, or you're like, Ramon just won me a bunch of money, I'll just take it for free and won't even pay $8 a week. Or you can get a cheaper price, obviously, when you go with the monthly 41 cents a day at $19.95. But there it is right there with the 0. And look, we got 310 subscribers. You guys are already all signed up. What am I doing this for? 310 subscribers to little old me here. You guys are so important to me. This is the highlight. I came here on Christmas because you guys are all I've got. So make sure you subscribe to me over at winnable.com/Ramon and get that free trial. And like I said, it will pick up a charge there, just like anything you buy. It does it automatically for you because you're going to love the free trial. I get 5-to-1 updates daily there. And I don't sell your information. I don't think they allow that, really. That it's a great system, the Winnable. It's powered by Stripe. It's very official. It's not some hokey thing. They offer Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card, and everything. And Stripe, I mean, that's one of the biggest platforms in the world for e-commerce. So totally legit. This is what Winnable does. They've made it for sports creators over there to get their get content out, and I think it's a great way to do it. And so please subscribe to my plays over at winnable.com. Mikey will tell us all about it.
Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Thank you, Mikey. That's a great job on the ad there. And let's see. Just want to mention one game's on the move here. We're seeing some steam right now with Penn State against Clemson on Saturday. It was a 3-point spread, but just while the commercial was going, the little steam button went off. We didn't have any steam today on the show, but I guess that was it. And right now, Clemson's down to a 2-point favorite over Penn State on Saturday in that bowl game. So there's a little steam for you. We gotta have some steam on the morning steam show, don't we? All right, a few more comments from you guys, and then I'll see you all later. Thank you so much. Nice to have you. And right, Nine Legacy, Kawhi, look, he's getting paid a lot of money. He knows he wants to get out there and do as much as he can. It's just kind of hard sometimes for him to get it done. I'm a Kawhi apologist, obviously, but I think he's a pretty good guy. And I did see him once when I was at a taco shop. We were having some tacos, and here comes Kawhi in the middle of the night looking for Mexican food. He loves his Mexican food. All right. Gooey says take Central Michigan. And I think Blue is talking. Is he talking Phillip Rivers in here? Talking Grandpa? And AJ, nice to see you. Greg as well. Bobby Mack, thank you. Everyone, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys can go if you want here. I'm just wrapping up the show. Really appreciate it. And I think we got all the comments in there. We got all Blue's comments in there, so that was important. All right, it's going to do it. Be back tomorrow. Don't forget Mikey Money here. He's back for one day anyway, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll get you ready for the primetime action there in the NBA and the late bowl game as well. And Also, guess that's it here on the Morning Steam. Really appreciate everybody. All right. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.